guys, welcome back to Hear Me Out. I'm E.
I'm D.
And today we're going to go over The Real Housewives of Potomac, Season 8, Episode 10. I got it right this time. And the episode is called Friendship is a Mother. Let's add some more words afterwards. This episode sucked. I'm going to tell you guys in advance, but we're going to go over it, give you opinions, and that's the way we roll. What happened in this episode?
You said this episode sucked, and I'm the one that gets accused of being extra?
Yeah.
Anyway, before I give my opinion, I'll just recap. So from Vulture, again, warning, not our thoughts. These are the comments from an article. We will then give you thoughts. Don't accuse us of X, Y, and Z. Okay? Okay. So, according to Vulture, friends, Romans, and countrymen, lend me your ears. Candiace Dillard Bassett is a woman in a reality crisis. Again, not us. She is visibly watching herself be iced out of the cast, and her petite frame is swimming like hell to fight the tide. Housewife storylines generally follow a standard arc. Conflict A, drama, resolution, on to conflict B. But Candiace has been unable to escape the quicksand of last season, still fighting the battles of her grudges on the show and on social media. Even Wendy has something new to latch onto. As irritating as I find the NECA drama, it allows her to move past discussing last season's tensions with Mia and Robyn. For Candiace, however, everything reverts to needing to be heard for how she feels about last season, and she continues to run into walls at every turn, which only makes her stamp her feet louder as she continues to be dismissed. After 9 episodes of D-Space on tour, we finally land on an episode where Candiace is steering the ship with a Mother's Day brunch event alongside Parfum de Marlene. It's a well-conceived event, lovely location, perfume bar, musical ambiance, but the drama is all about the guest list. With Candiace wielding power, Giselle is now excluded, but she is still trying to stitch together a semblance of a relationship with Robyn, who politely declined, but finally agreed to a long overdue one-on-one for the duo to air out their grievances. So, the division within the ensemble is a shame because the brunch would have made for a top-notch cast event. It really would. As it stood, there was plenty of fodder already, especially with the help of some of the girls' mothers. For one, Mia and Karen have developed 2 in-person hugs, finally, which is a huge growth in their relationship. The Grand Dame cannot say the same for Charisse, who triggers a slow-moving eye twitch whenever they are within 25 yards of one another. Ashley sheepishly admits that her divorce is merely awaiting her signature, and her family is pressuring her to file the paperwork. Charisse, who showed up with her daughter Skylar, aptly pointed out that she is likely to still slow walking this whole transition to a new financial lifestyle. Despite not being on the show this season, Jacqueline remains a topic of discussion for the second episode in a row. While Mia and Jacqueline have not spoken for almost a year, she has kept in touch with some of the other girls, including Charisse. Charisse tells Mia that she spoke to Jacqueline and Jacqueline cried. She also reveals that NECA joined in later, and Jacqueline apparently spoke poorly of Mia to NECA. Both Charisse and NECA frame that unfavorably, but considering the terms that Mia and Jacqueline left things on, it is not a surprise that Jacqueline would not have good things to say, and the things that NECA said in her confessional that were revealed to her about Mia's behavior, if anything, sounded like a warning to NECA not to get too close to a castmate who would publicly embarrass her oldest and best friend on a national platform. It is up to NECA to choose whether or not to heed that advice and move judiciously. So before we continue, first and foremost, that brunch was nice. I did like it. It was cool. And I wish that all the cast had been there. I knew it was going to be shadiness when Candiace said she's not inviting Giselle. Like, at the very least, you could have, even if we know Giselle would have said no, but, still, whatever. So that happened. And then, the mothers being there, to me, hilarious. All of them are very weird, and I love it. And I don't know how I feel about the whole Jacqueline thing. Kind of like not so great about it. I don't know. What did you think?
I thought that the event was spectacular, given that we had 3 episodes of this nonsense of
Oh my
Austin
god.
with Chicken Ish. I don't know. I think if they were row your boating there. They were doing like all these random things. And I
Yeah.
feel like Potomac is more, or tries to be a little more bougie. So this
Yeah.
goes great with their, overall, vibe.
Yeah.
I
Right.
thought that it was very classy. I was expecting way more drama, but it wasn't. I thought it was a lovely event with all the moms there. It was almost refreshing to see,
Yeah.
what the event meant, how everything looked. Everybody seemed to get along, I
Yeah.
think. Um, and no big dramas ensued. So I really loved this event.
Yeah.
The Jacqueline thing, it kind of confused me because I'm like, who's telling the truth? Was it Charisse
Mm.
or was it NECA? Because if Charisse is saying, hey, this girl was crying, she misses you, basically. And then the other one was like, nah. So is NECA trying to start problems with everybody? Or is Charisse sugarcoating? Like, that's the part that I didn't understand.
I took it as like Charisse trying to maybe help them reconcile. Or maybe Charisse realizes that Jacqueline is acting out because she does miss Mia, because she does maybe want, to be friends again. Like I kind of took it in that perspective. Um Whereas NECA, she's new to everything, and so I took her like response to it and the confessional as like, oh, it's kind of crazy. This person like just met me 2 seconds ago and is telling me like this other woman's life story, like that, didn't sit well. So I actually thought like that was interesting of NECA to point that out because that's how I would have felt. Like, what are you doing? Why would you, I get that you're not friends anymore, but why would you go out there and like tell somebody's life story like that? Especially in a negative light. So I kind of saw it like in that way,
Mhm.
from both of them.
I just
But
saw Becca being messy. I'm like, she's just trying to stir up some things because she's irrelevant in my eyes. I love the fact that Karen used every moment she could to plug in her business.
of
I'm
course.
like, a businesswoman gonna do what they do, you
Yep.
know. I even want to go to Bloomingdale's and smell the Grand Dame or La Dame at this
Love
point.
that. Yeah.
I'm like, you made it enticing. I like perfumes de Marley. Like, I want to go smell La Dame now.
Yeah. Why
So I
not?
thought that was pretty cool. Karen actually should have thought about this event with her, with her brand. I thought that would have been
Oh yeah.
that would be
It's
nice, but
true.
now she can't do it because then now she's copying.
Well, we know she's done that in the past.
Now with the Giselle invitation, I don't think that Candiace should have invited her because Giselle, she's an ass. Like she was gonna say no. Why is she inviting me? Why extend an olive branch to somebody who doesn't want it? She did it with Robin because she cares about her. So why should she do it with Giselle? So I thought it was fine.
Okay, yeah. No, that makes sense. You're right. Okay. So, somebody who wasn't there. Wendy and her mother were smartly nowhere to be found if you have to gamble on a mother known for theatrics in a group scene with an antagonist opt for the pre-planned book event. Wendy's reduced presence allows us to get to know NECA more organically. We meet her sister. I'm sorry, I can't pronounce her name. Um, is it Jadeka? I'm not sure. I'm so sorry. And get genuine insight into their family dynamic as high performing daughters of a first generation immigrant family that won the lottery alongside their hard work and succeeded in the American dream. Seeing the inside jokes that roll off their tongue and the natural banter they have amongst each other is a much more refreshing side of NECA that still allows us to understand the pressure that she feels she's under with a highly accomplished sister who has proverbially
Mhm.
whatever, accomplished it all. The career, husband, income, and family to boot. Hopefully, they come to build out these parts of her so we continue to understand NECA more and invest more in her journey instead of just viewing her as the oppositional force to Wendy. So,
Mhm.
I already know how you feel about NECA. you said we don't know nothing about her. There's really nothing they ever showed. Here was more. What did you think?
I actually really liked it. I hate that we had to wait 10 episodes to see
What?
this
Uh-huh.
because I feel, if you're introducing a new character or a new housewife, I feel like we should have known her from the beginning. Like, I don't
Yeah.
like that we saw her fighting with Wendy and that was our first impression.
Yeah. Yeah.
But I thought her story was, pretty relatable, as we are first generation Americans,
Yeah.
understand our parents' struggles. That part was very relatable, how we're
Oh
all
yeah.
to, juggle it all and be great and grow families and things like that. So I like this portion of it,
Yeah.
not NECA that, claims all these other things.
Yeah,
I
I
got
agree.
some nice things.
I know. I'm so shocked. Like speechless shocked. I don't even know what to say. I'm gonna just go ahead and agree with you. Okay, moving on. So while Giselle may not have been at the Mother's Day brunch, she does manage to lock in some mother-daughter time in a joint brunch with Karen and her daughter Raven. Um, it is lovely to see Giselle and Karen return to their early seasons banter, even revisiting old quarrels over Jack and Joe cooking competitions as their next generation offers each other counsel as Grace prepares to transition to college. While I critique Giselle for using the family scenes to hide out when she is on the hot seat, it can be mixed in well with banter and narrative building when appropriately executed. And these two daughters are very well aware of the fabulous diva moms who have raised them. They can talk about navigating social lives and dating in front of their moms and even get discreet matching tattoos together. Karen, of course, believes that she is prepared for the pain of repeated injections because of her usual Botox and filler routine. I thought that was like such a cute scene,
It
like
was.
the mom and daughter dual lunch. It's crazy to see Raven because I remember like earlier seasons and I was just like I remember Karen dealing with her. I think she was also going to be going off to college. And now we see Grace who like we met when she was what, a preteen, I think.
Yeah,
And like now she's going off to college too and I'm just like, "Oh, we're old. We're so
I
old."
know. But it's weird with Giselle because I don't like the other things that she does, but with scenes like this, she almost looks happy. Like very joyful, very, silly, very, it's just like a nice personality that she
Yeah.
has here. Like she even looks prettier to me. Obviously, we know she's a gorgeous woman, but it's like shining from within, I
Yeah.
think. So I really appreciate that. I wish she was like that with other people and wasn't so confrontational. But then again, we haven't seen that much of Giselle this season because she's not talking to anyone, basically. So,
Yeah. Like I hadn't noticed it, but you're right. She does look like
like
a,
light.
yes, lighter, like a genuine person, just happy. Obviously, I think it helps that in these scenes she's with her daughter, and
Mhm.
I think she has always like been shown to be a really good mother.
Yeah,
So that's something I think nobody can question. So I like that scene because of that. But I do think that like they're kind of utilizing this whole situation to provide that as a storyline for her because what else does she have going on? What we don't know anything about Giselle this season, to be honest. We know she has a boy toy that
because making
she's
her happy.
maybe, but have we seen them together again since that one episode where he was cooking in her kitchen? Not really.
Or that
So
one phone call.
the FaceTime, yeah. I think
That's
that's
basically.
whatever that was. Yeah. So I don't know. I mean, it's like, but the same thing too. It's like she has her own like business too, and she's doing other things. Like, why do we not focus on any of that? Like, one of my issues to as well was how like they didn't focus on Wendy's book signing. Like,
Mm,
we didn't get no kind of footage of that,
yeah.
and and instead the production just allowed the footage of basically Candiace like downplaying this, because she selfishly wanted her at the Mother's Day brunch. But I'm
Mhm.
I'm glad that Wendy, didn't go, because if she had gone and she had gone with her mother, it would have been such an uncomfortable situation with Nneka there, who
True.
had her sister there. And if you know anything, you know that your sister's gonna fight for you. And so it's like you already know it would have just been drama. And
Yeah.
Wendy's mom is a little bit attracted to drama. So that would have just been a whole other show.
Yeah. I also think that Giselle is playing second. She's the Robin to Karen. I've noticed when you when you see like the Austin trip,
Yeah.
she was like really celebratory towards Karen and her
Yeah.
triple 20 kind of thing. Like every time she's around Karen or we just see a different side of her. So
Yeah.
I think, you might be right where they're trying to put Karen as the forefront of
Yeah.
Potomac. Giselle lost her reign and she has to, I guess, settle to be the Robin to the Karen. And
Yeah.
then I don't know who Robin is to the Giselle. She got to change her name.
I don't even know. I think Robin seems to have kind of a mixture of like Monique and Giselle right now, where
Mm,
it's like, the drama, but then also like the fighting with the girls, like it I don't know. Like she kind of gives me some of those memories of the past seasons, which is crazy because one thing we always used to complain about in the past seasons was that what was Robin doing? Like we wouldn't get no kind of storyline about Robin. Real quick before I move on to the rest of the recap, though,
hmm.
Juanito was in the episode once again.
Who?
Juanito,
Who's Juanito?
her husband, Juan
Who's
Dick.
Oh, Juanito.
I can't
Who's
deal.
Juanito? I don't know.
Well, Juanito definitely wants to get paid because I've never seen him this much in a season.
Really? I
Buffing.
don't even remember him. When did he come out?
They went to do like some kind of massage thing with their son, I think, with maybe the
Oh
oldest.
yeah, and then he fell asleep while she was talking
No,
to him.
they
Oh, this
fell
is
asleep.
let's show him in this light. Yeah, him ignoring his wife. Okay.
Well, yeah, yeah.
Something we didn't know.
I've got nothing. Alrighty. So we finally have the tete-a-tete between Candiace and Robin, and the nuances and discussions show exactly why, despite Candiace's valid frustrations, she is stuck in a storyline roadblock. Robin is no longer interested in being friends. Candiace is not interested in acknowledging that she did anything out of bounds as a friend. There is simply nowhere for them to go. Whether or not Candiace is correct in principle in saying that she was starting her opinion, or stating her opinion as others state their opinions publicly, the fact is that she live tweets and goes to the blogs in a way that the others do not. Candiace was furious at the situation, and she should own that and not insist that she didn't mean to offend Robin. What Robin is pointing out, without saying it directly, is that Candiace publicly implied, outside of the greater conspiracy of it all, that she was not doing her job, which is coming for her paycheck as the primary breadwinner. Robin is bold for claiming she would do the same thing again, considering that Juan continues to humiliate her. Simply put, if she wants to protect her marriage, which is her God given right, she must leave the show. But Candiace is not why Andy and Bravo production demanded that you account for the story you put behind a paywall and freely admitted that you, one, saw coming, and two, expected a cast member to bring up for you. It's a frustrating refrain for her to keep repeating, and Candiace can rightfully exploit the hypocrisy in that. Still, she is trapped in a cycle of emotional immaturity that makes her the most standard conversation trying. That makes even the most standard conversation trying. She
Yeah.
quickly starts ramping up into a vent about how Robin associates with awful people, i.e., Giselle, and she has the right to express how that makes her feel. You can almost see her begin to hyperventilate over her visceral reaction to losing control over the situation and her emotions. It's tragic and sad to watch. And despite my thinking that Candiace is not completely invalid in her feelings, there's just nowhere for her to go. Robin is right. If this is how Candiace feels, then she shouldn't be interested in maintaining a friendship, and there's nothing more for them to discuss or to try and salvage.
Mhm.
Next week, we are taking ourselves to Surrey County.
No,
So,
no.
here are some cherry blossoms. This Wendy YouTube talk show story arc is all over the place. Plus, last I checked, the show went on hiatus around the holidays and has yet to return after filming 6 episodes. I wish the best for her, but she really needs to focus on 1 or 3 things instead of being in the business of everything.
Mm-hmm.
Karen telling the CCO of Parfums de Marly that they were in the same family because they both sold at Bloomingdale's, and then continuing to shill her products at the event made me choke on my green juice. Was Juan faking sleep to get out of a basic conversation with his wife, or did he actually fall asleep during that massage? I don't care either way, but it's quite sad that they do not seem to be on the same page.
Mm.
Ooh. So, what do we think about the Robyn and Candiace
Situation.
situation, confrontation, meetup? I don't even know what to call it.
I don't know. I I have no idea. I do agree with Candice when she says, I'm just bringing it up like the rest of them would.
Yeah.
I get it. And I
Yeah.
know that she's hurt because they were trying to malign her man and say
Yeah.
XYZ, and these were serious allegations. I
Yeah.
get it.
Right.
But I think I still have to side with Robyn because she's still not acknowledging that Robyn is saying, I'm hurt that you did this as my friend.
Yeah.
I think Candice was either too enraged, based
Yeah.
on whatever happened with Chris,
Yeah.
or she's trying to keep her paycheck or trying to be relevant. I don't know which one.
Yeah.
I think she's not listening to Robyn. And I think Robyn is right. Like, I don't think, at least this is the way I see it. I don't think that they purposely, attacked Chris to hide this whole Juanito situation. Like,
Right.
I mean, if they did, man, I don't see it. But I just don't find it to be Robyn's character, especially since Candice pointed out that she went against her friend in the beginning, saying, hey, I didn't
Exactly.
even think this happened. That's why I think it's preposterous that Candice still keeps going. And if
Yeah.
she really wanted to salvage the relationship, be like, okay, we can probably agree to disagree. I'm sorry
Yeah.
that I hurt you. I want us to get past this. That was a difficult situation. I hope you can understand how hurt I was. But
Yeah.
let's take it day by day. Let's do the Karen Mia thing. Let's just wave goodbye and work our
Yeah.
way to a hug. You
Yeah.
know, if Karen and Mia can do it, or Karen and whoever else, she has a pie in the freezer and all this,
Yeah.
then why can't they work it out? But I think the problem is Candice is not, accountable for her actions. It's far fetched, all her thoughts on what's really going on behind the scenes with Juanito.
I feel like I said this last time, but Candice girl, I was rooting for you.
We're always rooting for her, and she always lets us down.
It's a problem. Like,
Yeah.
isn't that the definition of insanity? We are literally the definition of insanity here. But the
Yeah.
thing is, like, okay, as I've stated in previous episodes and recaps, like, Candice has been one of my favorites. Like, I have liked Candice for multiple reasons. I don't like when her ugly side comes out. I've never liked that. But, like, overall, I like her and I like how she has been on the show for the most part. Her back and forth with Ashley is just always hilarious to me. The fact she invited Ashley to the
I
brunch,
know, right? I can't even take them seriously at this point.
definition of frenemies. The definition of frenemies. And I kind of love it. Like, not even gonna lie, I kind of love it.
Mm-hmm.
But this situation with Robyn, when I saw the previews last week of this episode, I got excited. I was like, oh my god, maybe they'll finally, like, because I didn't think of, like, oh, they're gonna be friends again, but at least, like, maybe, like, they could come to some kind of, like, resolution. And she goes, she sits down and tells Robyn, I am here to listen to you.
Mm-hmm.
And then proceeds
Very
to,
mature.
right. But then proceeds to not listen to her. Like,
Immature.
exactly. And this is why I'm saying, we're, like, always rooting for you because we're here believing you. And then you go and you do what you always do.
Yeah.
Candiace had absolutely every right to be mad about what happened. That, for sure. She never wants to be friends with Giselle again. I get it. That was a serious situation
Mm.
that didn't need to be, and that should have been addressed when it all happened. But the fact that she continues to use this whole thing against Robyn and to imply certain things about Robyn
Yeah.
is what like feels like it's just a circle. We're going around in circles because you not being able to move past this is what's hindering whatever chance at a friendship you could have with her. But at the
Mhm.
same time, I feel like Candiace is in like this internal conflict and turmoil with herself because on the one side, she clearly doesn't want to be friends with Robyn because she thinks that Robyn did this atrocious thing to her husband. But on the other side, she's desperate for her friendship with Robyn to come back because she actually like misses her and all that stuff. These two sides are in constant conflict and you see it at that lunch. Her one side came out in the beginning, but her other side won out, and then they ended up just like not really coming to any resolution.
Mhm.
I don't think Robyn did anything wrong to Candiace. Like,
I don't think so either.
there's nothing Robyn needs to apologize for, but Candiace won't take ownership or accountability for her actions and the way in which she made Robyn feel. Robyn is upset about the things she said and the things she said and did on social media and all of that because that affects her and her husband. The same way that Candiace is mad at Giselle for the things Giselle said and did that affect her and her husband. So it's like, how are you still mad about what happened between all of y'all and how it affected your husband? But you're mad that Robyn is still also upset about how this all affected her husband?
Yeah.
Like, it just doesn't make sense. Like, I'm not ever going to sit here and defend Juanito, but like, Robyn is right. That is her husband. She has every right to decide whether she's going to protect him or not. So if she wants to protect him, let that girl protect him. That's what Candiace tries to do with Chris. What I don't agree with Robyn, the one thing I don't agree with her on is the way she weaponized that situation and made it what it didn't need to be.
Mhm.
Because by putting her story behind the paywall of their podcast, the Reasonably Shady podcast, that gave the ammunition to everybody else, including Candiace, to speak their mind in
Mhm.
a negative way. Because this was something that looks shady on you, Robyn.
Yeah.
Like, I get that's the title of the podcast, but that was way more so than what it needed to be. So it's like, okay, you said you weren't ready to talk about this stuff or that you and Juan had gotten past this, so that's why you didn't talk about it on the show. But then you proceeded to talk
Mhm.
about it on your podcast
Yep.
and you put the full tea behind a paywall, so you have people paying you, despite the fact that you're on a show that already pays you to talk about your life. But you
Mhm.
chose not to do it then. So that's, yeah, like that's messed up. So I think that's the one thing that I can say I wholeheartedly disagree with Robyn on.
Mhm.
And the only thing I think she really like, you know, should apologize and not necessarily apologize to Candiace, but just like, hey, you messed up. Like, because this isn't just you doing it to Bravo and to Andy. This is you doing it to the Potomac fans,
Yeah.
At the end of the day, it's the fans that you're like accountable to because the fans are the reason you're still getting paid. Potomac
Mhm.
has been one of the most popular Housewives series because people enjoy it that much. At
Yeah.
some point, that's going to go away. And we know we've talked about it. Like the popularity has declined over the last couple seasons. Things are not what they used to be. And
Mhm.
instead of them coming closer together, the divide is like larger, I think.
Yeah.
So I feel like one of the other reasons why I was kind of hoping that maybe they could come to a resolution at this, lunch is because then maybe the division would be a little bit less, or maybe the division wouldn't be felt as rough.
Mhm.
But no, we're back at the same thing. And the preview for next week's episode shows how Ashley arranged it for only the girls that like she wanted to go with Karen to Surrey are actually there. Like, again, the division. So
Yeah. Uh,
anyway, that's
just
it for me.
I think a final thought. The problem is, and Candace is never going to address this. She's mad at Giselle, and
Yeah.
she's taking it out on Robyn. That
Yeah.
That is her gripe. That is what she's pissed at. Giselle's not giving her the time of day.
Mm-hmm.
She don't even care. Like, pop off on Giselle on social media like you usually do.
Right.
She's mad that Giselle's not listening to her and is not even acknowledging her existence because she brought up the fact you're friends
Yeah.
with, I don't even know how she described Giselle, shady people, say.
Yeah.
So that's what she's holding on to. I don't even think this is about Robyn anymore.
No, it doesn't seem like it. You're right.
So where does Candiace go from here at this point? Like, we can't talk about this another season because
Oh God, no.
I'm gonna email Andy, take her out, along with NECA because she's boring. We're 10 episodes in and she's boring me.
Dang, you gonna email Andy?
Yes.
That bad? Wow.
Mm-hmm.
Wow. Let me email your manager. Wow. Well, I mean, no, like I'll sign that email with you if it continues because this is
Oh, now
ridiculous.
you're signing the email with me?
I mean, it's ridiculous at this point. Like, it is. So my final thoughts on it, honestly, are just that, like, I agree. Candiace is really just mad at Giselle. Candiace is not going to own up to her situation in any of this.
Yeah.
But, like, if you don't like Giselle that much, why would you want to be friends with Robyn anyway? And for Robyn, this woman has said mad disrespectful things about your best friend. Why would you want to be friends with her either? You know? Like, somebody said something bad about you. It's not important for life.
Yeah.
For life. I don't care if you forgive them.
Friendship group, guys. You come for one of us, it gets bad. I'll be like, whoa, 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 whoa. You know who we talking
Yeah.
about if she's tuning in.
Yeah.
Calm down. It's okay.
No, it's not.
It's not. It's not.
It's never.
But
It's never. Never.
you make a point. Why even be friends? But we
Yeah.
can't have this friction in the show. It's like palpable and it's
Yeah.
uncomfortable at this point.
Yeah. Just be fake friendly, bro. Like,
Do
like
like Candiace
that
and
much.
Ashley do?
The what?
Do like Candiace and Ashley do?
Yes. You know what? Yes. Like, let's just have more of the Candiace Ashley type friendships. I could
Yeah.
get behind that because them girls are just crazy. And you know what? That's fun to watch. Versus whatever they got going on right now. That
Yeah.
lunch was so uncomfortable to watch. Like, it left me with such a bad taste in my mouth after. I was like, oh man, I don't even want to watch this show anymore.
Yeah. Or do like Mia. Mia will throw some shade and then she'll forget about it 5 minutes later. Be like, all right, business as usual.
This is true. This is true. I stand by the fact Mia is the real MVP. Y'all can fight me if y'all want. I don't care. Mia's the real MVP.
But Karen is doing a really good job, or she's trying to at least.
Karen is, the original MVP. I'm gonna give her that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She's trying to have her La Dame line in Nordstrom as well. Or where else? Neiman's. Because she's like, before this show is over and it like internally combusts, I need my product somewhere else. Who else is selling it? Who else sells perfumes? I want my stuff there.
Right. Do it. Get it done.
Do your thing, girl. But that concludes today's episode, guys. Let us know what you think about this whole situation with Robyn and Candiace. Should they be friends? Should they not? Who cares? What do you think about Juanito, aka Juan Dixon, falling asleep on Robyn? Like, did he fake it? Did he really not love his wife? Like, what's going on there? What do we think about the NECA storyline? Are you guys happy that you get to know more about her in episode 10 versus the beginning? I don't know. I'm really holding on to grudges with Bravo right now. Let us know in the comments. But if you haven't already done so, please subscribe, turn on the notification bell so you don't miss any of our videos. Also, please share our video. We're trying to grow our community and increase our watch hours. So our friends could be our friends and we could all be friends. We also have social media, which Steele tell you about.
We're on TikTok and Instagram at Hear Me Out DNE. So make sure you guys like, follow, share, comment. We enjoy interacting with y'all.
All right, guys. We'll see you next time. Peace.
Bye.
Bye.